Welcome to Happy Wife, Happy Life. We're your hosts. I'm Kendahl, Landreth.
And I'm Jordan Myrick.
And we are two incredibly unqualified,
but deeply in love comedians who are here to help you with all things relationship. And today we're discussing the hottest takes in dating. I'm feeling incredible.
This is the beginning of an incredible, incredible month.
Yes. Floors back in
our house. And what I'm going to tell you now, and I don't want to hype myself up too much.
Don't.
So jump in halfway through so you can really
let me hear it.
More humble.
What is it?
I feel like I am better than every single person on earth at unpacking.
Oh, I mean, the way Kendahl can clean and I'm like
Niecy Nash.
Flip a space.
On
Clean House. Absolutely.
I would have been incredible on that show.
I want her to come on the pod so bad.
I want her to join our relationship.
I want her to live in my house. Yeah. We love Niecy Nash bets.
I was
so much.
A huge Clean House fan.
So were we.
I was a huge Clean House fan.
So were we.
It was because, okay, obviously we know now all these cleaning shows are it's not ethical. I don't know if ethical is not the word. It's just not helpful. It's pointless.
Oh, like how it came out that Hoarders actually wasn't helping the people.
Well, yeah, it's like if anything can make it worse, and it's just kind of if you're living in that type of filth. Now, granted, Clean House, if I remember correctly, was kind of 2 steps down from Hoarders. It was the people were hoarder. I mean, the people were hoarders, but
but the people weren't mentally hoarders, because being a hoarder can be a true mental illness.
Yes, which is
to my understanding of what it is.
Well, but some of the houses on Clean House, I need to go back and we should do a rewatch, honestly, because Hoarders always made me sad. I didn't really watch Hoarders.
I can't watch Hoarders. It's too sad.
I've seen enough clips on TikTok now that I feel I've seen Hoarders, but I always was this is too sad. But Clean House felt like Hoarders with the comedic relief of Niecy Nash.
No, Clean House to me just felt like two parents that worked a lot, that had 2 kids
that were just
and maybe their space was too small or so. Do you know what I mean? It felt,
if I remember correctly, it didn't get into there are maggots and cockroaches. I don't think that happened.
It never felt dirty.
Because Niecy Nash was cleaning it.
Yes, it never felt dirty to my recollection. It was just people that were overwhelmed, I think, with their life is what it felt like a little bit to me.
We got to do a rewatch.
We got to do a rewatch.
But I really do feel if you were here last week, the vibes are going to be a lot better than last week because we were just in a really bad place last week.
Well, the apartment flooded and then everything was bad. And then I was at war with our insurance company.
And
finally,
like we said, they'd packed up all of our belongings into boxes.
Broke a bunch of it,
unfortunately. But you were at work one day and I literally put our house back together.
It's wild.
She
can
fast.
move swiftly.
Because you know what I'm good at? I'm good at looking in a room and I'm not overwhelmed. I say one thing at a time.
Which is great.
What's this little tiny piece of trash? That goes in the trash. It's so exciting. I have one spot for I really enjoy it. And it's really relaxing for me. And then you came home. I felt like we got in a good place. And us together really got the apartment looking good.
Because you are large scale and I'm small details.
You're the details.
So Kendahl will get everything generally where it should kind of go, and then I'll get in there and I'm going in drawers and I'm sorting every piece of paperwork we own,
which I'm less likely to do, and that's really helpful because I think us together, sometimes you'll look at a room and you'll be how am I going to clean this?
I'm too overwhelmed.
And you'll start with something like that, and then you've been there for 8 hours and you're why does the room look the same? And I'm I can get in an hour and make it look like a completely different room, but I'm kind of shoving stuff in organized piles, but stuff is getting
You're a shover
pushed.
For sure. Yeah. And I will come up with a perfect filing system for all of our art supplies that we never use or whatever.
Yeah.
So we really are a dream team.
And we put, oh my God, I was Jordan, I really want our tea and coffee area to look a little more cottage core, as they say. So please remove all of the tea bags from these packages and put them in mason jars.
Kendahl hates looking at packaging.
And Jordan did that, and then you bought a label maker to label them.
I'm so excited.
Oh, I've never been more aroused.
I love a label maker, and I can't believe I didn't own one until now. I was just doing what a lot of the food influencer chefs do, where they just take duct tape and then a Sharpie.
Trashy.
It's not trashy. It's practical. But I was I need something to level up a little bit. I need to it to look a little nicer. I need to be more in the zone. So I got a label maker, and I can't wait to label everything in our home.
Absolutely incredible. And because our routine is back on, I was saying to Jordan this morning, I was I think I was actually a little depressed and I didn't realize, because when the house was that messed up, it was one of those things where it's why would I even make myself a breakfast? I'm so unhappy with our home. It's like when you're home, you know your home's not going to look good.
Yeah.
It's so hard to do anything. It's so hard to do anything.
It's just depressing. And also, I think I also was depressed, as I'm sure you guys could pick up on, because I was having to get on the phone every single day and have a horrible conversation with a man that was rude to me, which was so irritating. To be on the phone every day for like 2 hours with an awful person really takes it out of you. So I'm just feeling in such a good place.
So much better.
Our house looks really good.
It looks really good.
Kendall will have to share a picture on the Patreon of our little coffee, tea, dining nook area. It looks really good.
It looks really good.
We got some art hung up.
Yes. And I just think like I made our bed before you picked me up, I made our bed.
Thank God.
And I was like thinking, I was like, I'm really good about making the bed. It's like something I always do. I just think it makes everything look so much better. And I get more excited to get into bed. Like it just makes everything feel better.
Yeah.
But, I was like, I haven't made the bed in like a month. And I was like, yeah, because everything felt ridiculous. Like making the bed when our house looked the way it did was just like.
Felt stupid.
For what?
Yeah.
Literally for what? And this morning I woke up, I made some tea, I made myself breakfast, I sat at the kitchen table and I did some work and it was just so nice.
It was so nice.
And then.
I got a haircut.
And then you got a haircut. You look really good.
Thanks.
You look really hot.
I can't decide how I feel about it. I mean, I think it's great. I love the woman that cuts my hair. She always does a great job. But do you know when you get a haircut and then it looks totally different than the way that it always looks?
Yeah. Do you know sometimes you get a haircut and they make it too smooth?
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Well,
Where I'm like,
specifically for me, because my hair is not smooth. I kind of famously have like very like frizzy, like curly wavy hair.
But I have naturally smooth hair.
Your hair's
I would
very
say
smooth, yeah.
But sometimes you leave the hair salon and it's too smooth to where it almost makes you feel like a little kid, where it's like falling out. I have no way to really describe this in a good way, but I just sometimes it's too smooth when you leave the hair salon.
But for me, I mean, if you're watching this on video, you'll see right now like my hair is so much smoother than it normally is.
Good.
I feel this is the main thing. She blows out my bangs with a blow dryer. Normally, I just let them air dry. So I think they're a little more straight. So I can't get them to sit kind of the way I want them to. So I just keep touching them. So I'll probably be touching them the whole episode, which if you're listening to this won't bother you. But if
you're watching
this, I'm gonna be touching.
Upset.
Just be so sweet about it.
Why don't you blow dry your bangs?
It makes them like really straight, so then they become like this, and they're like too straight, and then they're like in my eyes. Whereas if I don't, they kind of curl up a little bit on the end, so it keeps them out of my eyes. It kind of looks like Snidely Whiplash's mustache a little bit, and I like that personally.
Okay.
I do feel like a weird thing. I've developed a new cowlick in my bangs.
Where?
My bangs are parting differently on this side than they ever have in the past.
You are overthinking your bangs.
No.
The way you feel about your bangs is crazy. We were doing edits on the podcast a while ago, like a couple weeks ago, and Jordan was like, see, Kendahl, do you see how my bangs are there? You should have told me they look that way. And I feel like I don't. It's like I feel like Jordan speaks Spanish and I don't know what anything they're saying is how it feels. Like I'm like, well, I don't even know what that means. Like they look the same as they always look.
Tú necesitas practicar tu español.
Good job.
Gracias. I actually just don't know if that was perfect.
Well, I'm Miss Popular. Tell everyone why I'm Miss Popular in our apartment building right now.
Oh, well, Kendall's learning Armenian.
I'm not
She's not learning.
Armenian.
Sorry, that's generous. She's learned a couple phrases in Armenian.
I learned like 4 things in I'm not going to learn Armenian. First of all, it wasn't even available on Duolingo.
Sure.
And even though Duolingo sucks, but what, I wasn't going to go to college for Armenian, so I looked it up on Duolingo. And they don't even have Armenian on Duolingo. And also, it's a very hard language. And I'm already kind of tapped out on the languages I'm learning. But I was just like, all our neighbors are Armenian. So I was like, I would love to know how to say like, hi, how are you? Thanks so much, whatever.
Yeah.
You guys, here's what I'll say. I said one thing in Armenian. Now I've got all these Armenian men. They're trying to bring me wine. They're trying to bring me coffee.
And is that what you wanted?
It feels nice. All these elderly Armenian men trying to flirt with me. I feel like they really appreciate me trying to learn Armenian.
I'm sure they do.
I said, merci chat. And he literally, his jaw dropped. And he asked for my number for a different reason. Jordan thinks I give my number out too much.
Kendall gives her, and you guys will remember this if you're a longtime listener. Do you remember like a year ago, Kendall was out walking the dog and met a man who somehow the two of them started talking about horses? And don't get me wrong, I love small talk. I love talking to strangers.
It's called building community. I
fully agree with that. But Kendall started talking to this man about horses, and then he was like, oh, I know some horses, and Kendall was like, great, can you put me in touch with them? Yeah. So Kendall gave him her phone number.
Yeah.
I'm like, you have to stop
and every year he wishes me happy Thanksgiving, and which out of all the holidays, I don't know why
we don't celebrate.
But then last year you were like, Kendahl, don't text him back because you were really worried he was going to start stalking me. And I think about that all the time. I feel so bad. I'm like, he texted me Happy Thanksgiving. I didn't even respond.
Yeah, you don't need to respond to him.
But so
he's a
this
stranger.
other guy texted me and he was like, can I give you some Armenian coffee? And I was like, I don't want to start. This is going to start becoming, what if he thinks I'm like interested? Even though I don't, but that you put that thought in my head. I wasn't even thinking about that. He's like 60 years old.
That doesn't matter. You think 60-year-old men think that they don't get to have sex with women your age?
Kind of. That feels crazy. That feels crazy.
Guys.
That feels absolutely crazy. Not that I know, I don't think they don't think that, but I don't know. I will say, though, I'm bad about telling if I'm getting flirted with. I pretty much have never thought I've been flirted with my entire life. And I will get into, like, I will not understand, especially with men. Because
one of the biggest arguments we got into was this woman was being weird and...
She was being
I thought kind of inappropriate. And Kendahl was like, she's just being nice.
It's so hard
and
to
I
tell,
was like, she's really not. She's being very bizarre and forward and
and I told her no. And I told, well,
not
no, and that's, right.
And Kendahl was like, it's fine. And then Kendahl hung out with her again. And Kendahl was like, she tried to kiss me.
No, she didn't try to kiss me. But
basically, though, she touch your leg or something. And you were like, oh, no.
There was just a moment where I said, oh, dear, I've made a grave mistake. And I haven't seen her since. But I also, no, I think with men especially, because I'm just not ever thinking about that at all. Sure. So sometimes I'm like, this man is really nice. And then like, he'll say something and I'm like, oh no. I think maybe not only was he flirting, maybe I was, because I was literally just like being like, we're two girls.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely. You're like, we're gabbing.
Yeah. So
and he's like, I'm in love with you.
Exactly. And so I'm really popular right now in an apartment building with all the Armenian elderly men, and Jordan's jealous. So they're trying to like, you know, they're trying to get them to stop texting me because of my safety, quote unquote. But I think really they're just like, I think if it was you, you would be like, this is awesome.
I just think you have to learn when people are flirting with you and when they're not.
I don't think he's flirting with me. He tried to give me a refrigerator. That doesn't really feel like flirting.
I don't know. Hey, listen, I wouldn't give a refrigerator to someone I didn't like. That's what I'll tell you.
Really? What if it was a broken refrigerator?
Oh, like a prank?
Yeah.
I would only prank someone I like.
All right.
Why would you want to prank someone you don't like?
All right.
Too much effort.
That's true.
Don't you think?
I'm so bad at pranks. Oh my God, did we ever talk about that one time you guys pranked me in the car with that steam bun?
I don't remember, but that was a good one.
That was really upsetting to me.
Basically, we got these like steamed buns from this Chinese bakery, and it was me and our friends Colin, Andrew, and Kendahl, and we were going somewhere. And we got Kendahl a bun that was chocolate, but we told her that it was pork. And then we gave it to her and she was eating it. And she was like, wait, guys, I'm really scared. This like tastes really weird. And we were like, what do you mean it tastes weird?
It was the
it's
biggest
like chocolate
mind fuck
and
I've
then
ever.
She had us taste it. And then we were like, yeah, it tastes like barbecue pork. And she was so freaked. And then finally we were like, we're pranking you.
But it like was a real, because it's also one of those things that I was eating and I was like, no, it does taste like pork.
You're like gaslighting yourself.
No, I really was. I was like, wait, it tastes like sweet. Well, it's probably just sweet like barbecue, I guess. And I was like, this is kind of making me feel sick almost, because like the thought of this being pork, it just feels so wrong. And then I got convinced I had COVID because I was like, this tastes like chocolate, not a thing.
Yeah. And then I was like, do you guys think I have COVID?
And then I was like, we didn't get me tested. And then you guys told me.
We just pranked you.
Okay, dating hot takes. What's like off the top of your head biggest dating hot take you have? Sorry, no, that's a lot of pressure.
That's huge pressure on me. Do you have one?
Let's see.
It's also funny that now you just hold the avocado because you couldn't get it to stand up on the set, and now it's just become like a comfort thing for you. It's giving Binky.
It really is. I really love it. It's just like a good hold in the hand.
It's just a crocheted avocado that a fan made us, and Kendahl is like gripping it for dear life.
I love it. Well, it also helps me to like stay focused when
it's your fidget toy.
Yeah. A dating hot take I have is that
I don't think you should ever be late.
To what? Anything?
Dating.
Oh, on a date?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think when someone's late on a first date, that is a real red flag to me.
I guess I don't think that's like that controversial, but that's something that I do feel.
No, I think it's common people to be. I mean, I've been on many first dates where the person's like 20 minutes late.
That's nutso. But
I think some people are purposeful.
Bad.
No, I think some people are like, well, I don't want to see him. I'm like, if you're there 20 minutes early, I find that really attractive.
Yes, absolutely.
Because I'm like, you're excited, you're eager, but a lot of people do not like that.
Absolutely.
A dating hot take I have is that you should have sex on the first date.
Okay.
That's how I feel.
I love that.
I think I used to be like, if we didn't have sex on the first date, I'd be like, so they hate me.
Sure. And you think that's good that you felt that way?
No, I don't think it's good I felt that way, but I'm kind of like, why not? I think I am like, for me on a first date, I was always like, and at the end, if we really like each other, we'll have sex.
Sure.
And I think if someone's like, I want to wait, I'm kind of like, okay, Mother Teresa, what's going on here? I don't understand I don't understand what that is.
What if they want to get to know you a little better?
No, that's fine. I don't think it's a red flag or anything. I just think my dating hot take is that it's totally fine to have sex on the first date.
I don't feel like either one of these are that controversial.
I know. What am I supposed to say? Like,
is there something really controversial, we think?
On dating or relationships?
Dating. If you show up to a date in flip-flops, I'm immediately less attracted to you.
Yeah, that's a good one. But I also am like, duh. I mean, what if it's at a beach?
Yeah, I guess if your first date's at a beach, that's fine.
I still think I would be like, oh, interesting.
But like a flip-flop, like a rainbow brand flip-flop. Wear a sandal.
I would say
if you do something and I can see just a little bit of your butt crack.
Oh my God, yes.
Much less attracted to you.
That is seeing someone's butt crack, there's really nothing like it. Like it really, and I would see someone's full ass is totally fine. But the way your pants pull down the cheeks, it really, no one can look attractive with it. Not a single person. I don't think there's a single person on earth that everyone's butt cracks looks exactly the same. Oh my God, it's the great unifier.
But not everyone's butt crack looks the same. Some people have extremely high, long butt cracks, and some people have very short butt cracks. Like if you've ever seen someone that looks really good in like super low rise jeans, where's their butt crack? It's because without pants on, their butt crack is like this long.
Yeah. God, do you remember when you were a kid and you just like didn't even know or care that your butt crack was out?
I don't think so. I think I probably would have known that.
Like I feel like I'll see pictures of myself from like the second grade and my butt crack just like
really,
or like my nipples out. And
nipple,
just, like,
I think is different. Butt crack, I feel like I always had a sense of like, because butt crack just feels wrong. I think butt out. Fine as a child.
Yeah.
Butt crack just feels like, I don't know. But I've never understood why butt crack is bad, but cleavage is good.
Well, don't get me started on cleavage because it doesn't make any sense. You want to know something really embarrassing that happened to me?
Yeah.
When I was in high school, you know what? It shouldn't even have been embarrassing, but I was made to feel that it was embarrassing. When I was in high school, I was like a sophomore. We used to bring a photo of ourselves as a kid, and I brought one, and it was like me at a water park. And then I realized both my nipples were out in it. And then they put it on the whiteboard.
That's rough.
And they put arrows to it, and it was like Kendahl's nipple.
Who, the teacher?
No, the students.
Why did the students have access to the whiteboard?
We didn't go to a prison. I mean, it was...
Were
your teachers like, do not touch the whiteboard?
I guess so. I think kind of. I don't know. Never think to touch a teacher's
I went to a California school, honey.
So did I.
No, in high school.
Okay, all right.
I don't know. I just feel like it was kind of like...
It was more chill?
You'd write like notes to your teacher. You'd be like, hey...
I never, ever would have thought to touch the teacher's board.
Wow, I feel like that was such a normal thing. I mean, not all teachers are created equal. I wouldn't go to like my math teacher's whiteboard and write it on there.
I never would have. I have such a distinct memory. This is even more embarrassing than that.
What?
I was hanging out with my older cousin and some of her friends, and we were all practicing doing back bends. And I did a back bend, and as I did my back bend, and I was little.
Yeah.
My shirt came up, fully exposing myself.
Yeah.
And then I farted. And it felt so embarrassing. But then I distinctly remember.
Did everyone laugh or did they pretend?
Of course. Okay. We were like, I was probably 5 and they were probably 7 or whatever. So it was like peak time to laugh at something like that. And I remember like talking to my aunt after, and I was like, I just think I like got really like on a soapbox about it. I was on a very high horse. I was like, they're just like so immature. And I think it's just like really like, I just think it's really interesting that like, what's the difference between this and my elbow? And why can they see my elbow and not laugh? And why they see this and they laugh? And then what's the difference between a toot and a whistle? Or a sneeze. It's not embarrassing.
A toot and a whistle.
It's not embarrassing when you sneeze. It's not embarrassing when you sneeze.
Right.
But when you...
Well, but I feel the same way when people... I can't even say the word. Can you say it for me?
Burp?
Yeah. I literally can't even say it. Hate it. But I feel like people act like that's... To me, that literally is the same as farting. I hate that we've said fart so much.
Sorry. Are you mad at me?
No, but I can't say it one more time. But
yeah.
I'm like, those are the same to me, and people don't view them as the same. I feel like people will like burp all day, and I'm like, literally, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
That's literally, in fact, I think it's more disgusting because a fart is contained in your pants.
So true. It's how I feel
and
about.
That's my dating.
That's how I feel about shoes and hands and feet.
I know. I agree.
Which, you guys, I'll never stop saying it. Shoes are.
I'll never stop saying it.
You cannot
silence my wife.
I cannot be silenced. Feet are clean because they're kept inside your shoes.
Yeah.
Your hands touch everything. But people act like feet are so nasty. I'm like, what are you doing with your feet? They're contained in a shoe and a sock.
I know.
Your hands are...
You know what it is? It's a sexualization of them.
Of feet?
Yeah.
Which is crazy because you do more sexual stuff with your hands normally.
For some.
For most, I would say.
Not me.
Well, then that means me either. You're kind of outing both of us with that, Kendahl. No, but like typically you're doing most sexual things with your hands. Why aren't they seen as more sexual?
I agree.
And that kind of brings us back around to why no butt crack, but cleavage is good.
So you've changed it. You've changed your mind. You're like, now wait, actually
butt crack
morally,
is good.
Morally, butt crack is good.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right, well, let's get into some of these dating hot takes that people sent in and that we found on the internet.
Incredible.
To see how we feel. This person says, their hot take is that there is no such thing as unconditional love. I agree with that.
I disagree with that.
What do you think unconditional love is?
Loving someone no matter what.
But what if I murdered your mom?
Okay. No, you can't ask me that because she listens to this. So
what if I murdered your mom?
Truthful response.
What if I murdered? You'd still love me if I murdered your mom?
No, of course not.
What if I killed a bunch of people?
No. But what I think is, okay, first of all, this is I think unhelpful because that cannot be what that person means. But also,
I think it is.
I think I would love you if you murdered someone, but I would not date you if you murdered someone. That's the difference. I would still love you. I think I would if you murdered. What is this? I'm not gonna say my mom because that's too traumatizing for her to hear on her morning drive to work. But if you murdered someone that I loved, I think I would be so horrified for that reason, but also because I would be like, what is going on with you? And I would ultimately have to divorce you, but I would probably visit you in prison and be like, are you okay? And I think I still would love you.
What if all of a sudden I started getting like politically like nasty? Like I was like, wait a second.
Okay.
You'd still love me?
I think I would be like, it's so hard because that is why I would say I love you unconditionally because I love you because I know you so well that if that was happening, yes, I would love you because I would be like, what is going on? And I think it's the same thing people talk about with their parents where they're like, well, my parents were these amazing people. And then when they got into kind of became a Trumper and they went down this rabbit hole and they became this insane person, of course it's hard to not, it's easy to just be like, I'm cutting them off, whatever, they're terrible. But you still unconditionally love a person who you know the deep down who they are. And so I think if you started doing that, I would be like, someone needs to switch around your medication or something. And maybe we would end up breaking up, but it would not change the way that I love you.
What if you found out that this whole time I had been lying about something really big?
Like what? Murdering my mom, I assume.
I've murdered your mom. Yeah. I murdered your mom, and the woman that's playing your mom is a stunt double that I hired to pretend to be your mom.
There's like no benefit for either of us.
It really doesn't make sense.
It's like just a show for you.
What would be a thing that would be like really like? What would be a good thing that I could lie about for like ever? I don't know. What if you found out I was like actually like 60, and I'd been lying to you this whole time?
Once again, I think I'd be like, you're really unwell, and I would be like, we still had a lot of good times, and there's no way if you were that, we've been together long enough that if you were a truly bad person, I would have found it in other ways. So even if I would be like, yeah, they're a pathological liar, but they also have a lot of good personality traits. So once again, no, I would not still be with you. If I found out you were 60 tomorrow, no, I would not be with you. I would break up with you. But I know you. I can tell in your eyes you don't like me saying that.
I guess I'll keep that secret still.
But I would still love you. That's what I think unconditional love is. I don't think unconditional love is
what
like,
if I was like, what if I was like, this is a prank. This whole thing's been a prank.
What does that even mean?
And I'm straight, and this is a prank.
And it's being filmed?
Yeah. For a prank show.
Okay, I wouldn't love you.
It's like jury duty.
Yep, I wouldn't love you anymore.
So no such thing as unconditional. No, this is my thing with unconditional love. I hear what you're saying, and what you're saying totally makes sense to me, and I agree with it. But I also think, to me, it's one of those things where sometimes I'll say that I don't feel like you can be in love with someone who's not in love with you, because I think that you can have love for someone, you can love them, but to be in love with someone.
That's not what unconditional love is.
Okay, I was in the middle of a sentence. So God knows what I was even saying. I don't even remember anymore because I was so taken aback by being interrupted like that.
I'll drink my water, so I'll stay quiet.
I am just like, you can have love for someone, you can care about someone, but I'm like, to be in love with someone, I think that very much takes two people working together to cultivate a thing. And I'm like, if you break up and you're like, I'm still in love, but they're not in love anymore, I'm like, are you really in love with them, or are you just kind of like infatuated with them and you have love for them? I think it's very convoluted, and I think this is kind of like that. I think there are a lot of things where it's like love, unconditional love, but I'm like, I would not continue to be in love with you if you started doing like nasty stuff.
I'm not in love though. That's what I'm saying. It's like, to me, I think of unconditional love has nothing to do with romance.
Okay.
I never heard you make that noise before.
I'm titillated by that thought.
I don't think of unconditional love as romance. That's why I think, to me, I'm viewing you then as a family member. I'm viewing, like, I think of unconditional love, the first thing I think of is like children. And it's like, if I had a child, I think before I believe in it, because I also think it's like a choice. Like if I had a child, I would be like, I unconditionally love my child. If my child becomes an absolute monster, it's not about how I go about dealing with it and interacting with them.
Okay.
But I have an unconditional love. I don't have unconditional love for many people, I would say. But you are someone I have unconditional love for.
Nice.
No matter what you do or what you did. And I always think of Santa Clarita Diet where she becomes a zombie. I'm like, I would be Joel. I would be like trying to find, like, what did they say? Single, familyless Nazis to kill? Is that what they say on the show? On Santa Clarita Diet.
Yes.
Because they like need to find, she's a zombie. If you don't see it, it's like a great show. She's a zombie and they're like, well, we need to find
We need to kill someone, but we need to kill someone bad.
Yes, we need to kill someone bad. And so they're trying to find like single Nazis, basically.
I would argue that even a married Nazi is bad.
I think they were like, we want to affect as little people as possible.
Yeah.
So it has to be like a kind of bachelor racist man. So anyways, I would do that for you. Like I do. But if you started becoming a person that was making me miserable ever, it just has nothing to do with like, that's not even me going, we would never break up. Like if you cheated on me.
But we would never break up, right?
Oh my God. No, of course. But if you cheated on me, probably, maybe. I mean, it would be a conversation, probably. If you did something really bad, if you were 60 years old and I'd found out this was all a prank show and you'd killed my mom, yeah, I probably would break up with you.
Huh.
Now, all three of those together.
Ashton Kutcher, come on out.
But I still would love you. And that's how I feel. I mean, it's like you see kids who go down bad paths and do bad things. Oh my God, I'll never forget the documentary about the woman with 2 kids. And one of the kids murdered her other kid. And she was like, well, now I only have 1 kid, but he murdered my other kid. And it's like, how do you navigate? I always think of that documentary. And she still goes and visits her kid in prison every single day.
I understand that. Okay, you've changed my mind. I think you're right. There is unconditional love. I agree.
Play back the moment where Jordan said, I think once you hear what I'm going to say, you're going to change your mind.
I think I will explain it in a way that will make you agree with me.
Clip it out and then send it to me.
Yeah. One thing that's wild is that right now I keep going to adjust my glasses, but I'm not wearing glasses. I have my contacts in today.
Yeah.
And I keep going to adjust my glasses.
Yeah.
That's so if anyone's wondering why I'm kind of fidgeting around my face so much.
You're trying to adjust your glasses.
Because I'm trying to adjust glasses. Okay, this is, I think, a good one. The reason there are so many unhappily single men is because there are so many happily single women.
Wow.
I think that's true.
I don't know enough about, I don't speak to enough men. I guess I don't know a ton. I'm like, every man I know I'm realizing is via his wife.
Sure.
So I'm just like, I don't know.
Or they're gay.
Or they're gay, or they're in a relationship kind of wife guy and I met them and they were super nice. But I don't really know many just like single straight men.
Yeah.
So
Richie?
I gotcha.
Okay.
Are you single?
Yeah.
And you're straight?
Yep.
Are we legally allowed to ask you that at
seem
work?
happy. Yeah, we get sued.
Yeah. Richie, are you happy?
Of course.
Oh, I love that.
But Richie's built different.
It's also, you really took a big risk with that question. Are you happy?
Are you happy
Richie
and are
goes,
you straight?
No.
Yeah, Richie's like, I'm questioning both. And that's fine. You can change it anytime, either one of those, Richie and G.
You just have to update
You
that.
just let us know and we'll talk about it on the podcast. Yeah, I think that this is a theory that I have, having, Kendahl and I are in a little bit of different positions because I have dated men in the past and Kendahl has not. I think that in my experience, both seeing men date my friends and having dated men in the past, I think even some of the nicest, best men that are straight and cis that I know still feel entitled to a certain amount or level of things. And I think a lot of straight cis men, because they've gotten so much in their lives, especially white straight cis men, I think are kind of like, oh, well, if I just worked a little bit harder, I could be Quentin Tarantino. If I just worked a little bit harder, I could be Nelson Mandela. Like whatever these people are who have like worked so hard and have such kind of like unbelievable careers.
Like, if I just didn't spend an hour at night with my girlfriend watching The Bachelor, I would have achieved all those things.
Exactly. I think they're like, I'm so close to being this thing, because men are kind of sold this bill of like they can kind of have everything, which once again, it's not their fault either. It's a bad societal thing that we do that reinforces bad things for everybody. But I think that this kind of goes into that of it being like, well, you should have a wife, you should have a girlfriend, you should whatever. But also like maybe being single is nice, you know?
Well, I also think women historically value friendship in a way that men do not. I mean, like historically, even just for like survival.
And that's bad. Men should be valuing friendship more.
I agree, but I think it's just like a different thing. I think women, at least from what I see, because it feels very different in the queer community, but I do feel like online, I was just saying on the car right here, I was like, my algorithm between me going to the gym and loving horses thinks I am a conservative trad wife in the middle of nowhere. So I do sometimes, I kind of stay on that side of TikTok more for research. I'm like, what's going on over here? And I do feel like a lot of straight women, it is always that famous thing of like, I still love my best friend more than I love my husband.
Absolutely.
Which is
I also
wild.
think then you get into like cultural elements of it, of like not every culture feels the same about marriage. So mostly I feel like I'm just talking about America because I can't speak on every culture. Yeah. That's also something that really makes me laugh. So many things on the internet I've seen recently, someone will say something on like an American TV show and they're all American, whatever. And then the comments will be like, well, maybe in America.
And you're like, yeah, maybe America, it is America.
Yeah, exactly where this takes place. Yeah, that's what they're talking about. So to provide a disclaimer, I don't know everything about every single culture in the entire world, but in my experience, yet. I'm so close.
You're so close.
So close, but I don't yet. I think that like people are just sold a bill of like, you'll be happier in a pair. And I think a lot of socializing for men can like revolve around women, getting gals, going out on the town, trying to meet women, whatever. But like, I wish men just like hung out a little more and just like did their hobbies together.
Yeah. Well, I also think that there's probably a lot of unhappier women in relationships. Like, I feel like the transition from single woman to having a man living in your house sounds like a horror movie plotline.
Sure. But some people like it.
And that's fine.
And that's good. And I think that's good for them because it takes different strokes for different folks.
You're exactly right.
But yeah, I think that like how do you feel about the male loneliness epidemic?
I don't care. No, I haven't done any research on that. I have no idea. I just am like, I guess, yes, but it's the same thing. It's like, what are we even talking about? It's like all the same stuff. It's like, yeah, we all, like the way that men are treated in society is negatively affecting every single person. So I'm kind of just like, yeah, that's why, and that's sad, and I agree. Like when someone's like, well, men really struggle to like talk about their emotions. I'm like 100%. Like I don't feel like I even need to speak to that because if we just spoke to everything else, things would.
Richie just shouted out that he was so happy.
And Richie's the only man I care about. So
why can't
really
everybody do that?
Matter.
Richie just did it out loud just now on a podcast. I think it's sad. My initial response is obviously like, shut up, I don't care, to the male loneliness epidemic. But when I really stop and think about it in kind of like a real and thoughtful way, I am like, it is sad. It's.
You want to know?
Yeah. What?
Eli Rallo posted a TikTok, and I was somewhere where I couldn't listen to audio, so I just like read the caption of it, so I don't know what she said about this. I have a pretty good guess, but I'm not sure what she said about it, but it's a hot take that I want to say that reminds me.
What is it?
It was like I would never, like, it is a red flag if a man doesn't have a sister.
What?
And I agree.
Richie, do you have a sister?
No, I don't.
Kendall?
I got a good mom, though.
And there you go. And there you go.
But it's a red flag. It doesn't mean I would say, look.
If he doesn't have a sister. No, because I think I completely disagree. Because you meet some weird brother-sister relationships that I don't like.
Okay, and I think it has to do also where you're from. I feel like some people, it can be bad because it's a brother-sister duo, and then the brother is treated like a prince, and the daughter is treated bad.
The brother is mommy's baby.
And that's unfortunate, 100%. But I do still think, what I find is there's a lot of, I think it would be fine if the guy had a lot of girlfriends. But I think that
I don't always like that either. I think that sometimes that's...
You know the vibe I'm talking about. You know, like a guy who has normal female friends. And it's not weird. But I think when there are some men that I'm like, you've literally never spent time with a woman. Like, ever.
100%. But I also think that there are men that spend a lot of time around women, and those women are also catering to the patriarchy in a way where I'm like, being around women is not inherently beneficial. I think conceptually, I understand what's being said, but when you like, it's like a man's around a bunch of like weird, like fatphobic, homophobic, like racist women, I don't inherently think he's like, but you know what I mean? Like some of the worst men I've ever met have wives and have sisters and have mothers and have daughters. Sure. Every single time a man leaves a disgusting comment about me on the internet and I see it, you click on his profile. What's he doing? He's holding his daughter and he's standing next to his wife.
But neither of those are his sister. I think a daughter is completely different. I think a wife is completely different. I think having a sister, I think growing up, if you're similar ages, no matter how your family is, and we don't, yes, of course, there's always someone who's like homophobic and racist and terrible. But let's just assume we're not talking about that. I'm just talking about general people growing up next to another woman feels like that is going to have an effect on you. That's going to, and I think because of the society we live in, women are more XYZ, X whatever. And to be exposed to that makes you a more, I don't know, well-rounded individual.
I like
So I would never
concept.
send my daughter to an all-girls school.
I like the concept. I don't know if the execution works for that
What's the
theory.
execution? Okay, I see what you're saying.
Do you know what I mean? I think Eli Rallo, come on the show. Let's talk.
To be clear, I didn't watch. I literally just saw her say. I saw it was like captioned, so I don't know what Eli Rallo's thoughts on it were because I was in a place I couldn't turn on audio. But it just got me thinking. I was like, oh, do I think that's a red flag? And I think red flag also means. It's not like I'm like red flag means no way and green flag means if you have a sister, I'll date you
that
for sure.
That also makes me laugh. I feel like in the past when we've done like red flags or green flags, people are like, that's a red flag. That's disgusting that you would say that people don't deserve to live. And I'm like, that's not what a red flag
No,
is.
I mean, I think
like
both
not
of
what a
us
red
probably
flag
have a
is.
red flag that the other person thinks is a red flag when we started dating. But it's like not. It's like a red flag is like, oh, something to think about.
Everybody has red flags or things that seem like red flags, and also everybody has different red flags.
So to me, that is a red flag. To
But
me,
like,
if you don't have a sister, that's a red flag because I would just be like, oh, interesting, something to think about.
I don't know. I'm still not buying into
Something
it.
to think about.
Once again,
Maybe you're buying into the patriarchy.
I think I just know so many men who have sisters that are awful who grew up as mommy's baby.
But that's a whole. But then we have to. That's mommy's baby. That's different to me.
But it's all in the world, right?
Sure.
Like it's all. If we're looking at the world of like boy,
You know who I really wouldn't date?
Who?
No, red flag. It's not that I wouldn't date.
Who?
Well, I wouldn't date anybody because I'm in love with you. But
thank you.
a girl who's grown up with only brothers is a really specific type of woman, I feel like, who has like 5 brothers, not just like 2, the youngest sister who has like 5 older brothers.
Well, because you and I don't like princess girl.
Princess girl, and is also like, and I could beat the shit out of you.
Oh,
and I'm
yeah.
like, so you're 5 foot tall?
Yeah.
And also, yes, you probably could,
Girl
and
that's
I
like,
don't want you to.
I'm one of the boys. Like that.
Yeah.
You don't
kind
like
of
that energy.
I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't like that.
I understand.
I'm not like other girls.
Because you're different. Yeah. I'm trying to think of what's something like that. I mean, mommy's baby is my biggest red flag, and I've dated mommy's baby.
You're
and
dating
it
a
should
mommy's
be,
baby right now.
And I am dating him. I've almost, honestly, this is disgusting. I'm having this realization in real time. I've almost exclusively dated
think you're
mommy's
trying to
babies.
become a mommy?
I think I'm mommy.
But I think it's different. I think men's mommy's baby is very different from girls' mommy's baby.
But you're also not mommy's baby with me. I think that the people I've dated.
I'm mommy's baby. I'm pointing at you if you're listening on audio. I'm Jordan's mommy's baby. Does that make sense?
To my mom?
No, to you. Well, and your mom. I'm a mommy's
Your
baby.
mommy's- your
so
mommy's
whatever
baby-
woman is in the room, I'm the baby.
You're not the baby to me, I don't think, but you're the baby to my mom for sure.
Yes,
you
I love
definitely
a
like to be
maternal
mommy's
energy.
baby. Yeah, you love maternal energy, but I do not have maternal energy. And I don't think anyone I've been with, I've been mommy and they've been baby.
I think I have a maternal energy.
I think you do as
To
well.
you even.
I think you have a more maternal energy than I do. But I think that everyone I've dated, I have not been mommy, but they have been baby and they've been mommy's baby. Does that make
been
sense?
an orphan.
No, I wish. Give them a little character. They've been mommy's baby for sure.
I think it's different.
And then it's hard though because I'm just like another person. Do you know what I mean? Because they're like, I'm mommy's baby, and who are you? Is kind of like what it feels like. They're
Help
like,
me
how
find
do
my
you,
mommy.
How do you play into mommy's baby? Because I'm baby, so that means I'm the earth. No, I'm the sun. I'm the sun. Baby's the sun, and then mommy is like the earth orbiting around the sun.
Yep.
Daddy's a moon.
You've lost me a little bit on this, but I do get what you're saying.
I think what I'm saying makes a lot of sense.
Girls' mommy's babies, it's much more an emotional thing. Like I feel versus I think boys' mommy's babies, it's like they cannot function on their own.
I think that's what you want it to be because you're mommy's baby, but I don't.
But
feel
I
that
don't
way.
rely on my mom in a way of like I rely on my mom emotionally, like not like a reliance, but like my mom will be like my baby girl versus me being like, Mom, you need to come to my doctor's appointment with me. You know what I mean?
Yes, but I don't think mommy's baby is going to doctor's appointments with you. I think mommy's baby is like an emotional thing, and you're
Okay.
mommy's baby. And I think you're a lot less mommy's baby now than you used to be.
Because I've gotten older.
Yeah, but you used to be very mommy's baby in a way where I was like, calm down.
Yeah, but I know that if I had a kid, they would be mommy's baby.
I would not allow it.
Yeah. Oh, good luck with
I would
that.
not allow it. I think mommy's baby is one of the worst qualities you can have.
If I had a kid, no matter what they eat, oh God, there's this woman who I took an improv class with years and years ago, who she has 5 sons. And and all of these sons are married. And you could not tell, you would think she had 5 daughters, the way she treats the
That's nice.
wives. It's like she adores them. And it is like when it is their birthday, when it is their anniversary, when it is their first day of school, when it is she makes a 9-paragraph, I have to show it to you sometime, 9-paragraph post for each
Facebook
one of them.
post. But you know what's hard about that?
All caps.
You know what's hard about that?
My beautiful baby. And that would be me.
You know what's hard about that? I've been in similar situations. And once the two of you break up,
she's done
with you.
I don't know if she would.
And that's really hard.
Because she wished me a happy engagement for you and I.
But you weren't dating one of her kids.
I know, but I hardly knew her. I just think she's a people's princess. She's for the people.
She's the people's princess. No,
but I do get what you're saying. I feel like moms like that who immediately are like, you're my new daughter. You're my new daughter.
Because I have never been around anyone like that. My family is kind of like, my family's very like funny and nice, but they're not like effusive and emotional necessarily.
Well, and they take it like, I'm close with your parents now because we've been together 5 years and I've spent a lot of time with your parents. I'm not close with your parents because I'm in a relationship.
I would say my parents are very normal.
Yeah.
My parents are very like, we just met and it's nice to meet you.
Yeah.
But I once dated someone where it was like, their mom was immediately like, you're my daughter. And I was like, oh, this is really sweet. And then the moment the relationship ended, which was not my fault and nothing bad happened.
Yeah.
She was like, bye, unfollowed on Instagram. Like very like immediate. And
Unfollowed?
I think that's really harmful behavior. That's what I'll say.
Wow.
That's what I'll say.
Okay, what's the next hot take?
The person who cares the least controls the relationship. I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
Like the most careless person in the relationship and the person that's the least invested, I think kind of narrates and dictates the whole relationship.
Yeah, they like completely control it 100%.
Yeah, because if they like don't care to be on time and they're always late, then you as a couple are always late.
Or if it's like, I think too, you become a little like, I don't know, when I've dated people in the past where clearly they were just not invested, it'd be like when they did want to hang out, it was like, I'll drop everything and come hang out with you. And
which
it's
is
like,
not fair.
And then you're kind of waiting. I used to find myself, which I made a rule, I wasn't allowed to do this anymore, but I would find myself being like, well, I don't want to make plans in case I don't want to make, you can't do that. You really can't do that. But I would. It's like, well, I don't want to go do anything because what if they call me? Because if they do, I can't lose that opportunity. It's so annoying.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that... Yeah, I just think if you're bringing bad vibes, no amount of good vibes can bring up the bad vibes, and no amount of hard work can bring up a lack of hard work.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just like destroys a relationship. But I obviously know that, but I had never thought about it. And when I read that, I was like, wow, I've been in so many relationships like that where I've just been like, if you can come 20, I can come 80 or whatever. But it's like, if that's a consistent thing, it's like, it's just not going to work.
God,
you know what I mean?
I can't believe I used to like have those conversations. You know what I mean?
I know.
I used to sit with someone and be like, I know you're not as into me as I'm into you, and we can work with that. Like, that's okay. It's like literally so embarrassing.
Yeah.
We were just watching Bachelor in Paradise, and sometimes watching these women interact with these men, I'm like, oh my God. Like, I don't know. And to be honest, I don't know if they're doing anything wrong because I'm like, I don't know. Maybe that's how you have to do it to make it work with some of these men. But there was one girl who was like literally apologizing for being like, I'm just really excited about this and I'm sorry that that's pushing you away. But she was like being for real. She wasn't like passive aggressively saying I'm sorry. She was being like, I'm really sorry.
And these women are so hot and these men look like thumbs.
They all look like
they look like the Floops Fluglies. You know what I mean? Like they are not doing well. They look like they're from Spy Kids and I don't like it whatsoever.
Yeah, and they always have mustard on their face.
The men?
Yeah, they always have mustard.
Yeah, because they're always
eating
eating like a big sandwich.
Always eating like a sandwich. I'm like, put the sandwich down for 2 minutes.
And
then they're like sucking on their fingers and
Vallarta, like, why are you eating a sandwich?
Okay, I would not throw stones in glass houses. You would eat a sandwich at Puerto Vallarta.
Not on camera.
Not on camera.
Not on camera. Not on national television. Not on national television. I would eat something a little more authentic. So these were sent in by our listeners on Instagram. Honestly, we got so many of these, we might have to do a part 2 of this.
Oh my God.
Let us know if you want us to do that. Don't date someone who only likes dogs.
Yeah.
If they don't like other animals, they only like dogs, that's a red flag.
No.
That's what this person is saying.
Because even I was going to say, like, you don't want a cat because you're allergic to cats. And I also don't think your energy matches with, like, owning a cat, but you would do anything for a cat. And I feel that way, you with any animal. Like, you love animals. You're scared of horses, but you respect horses. Like,
of course.
You love animals. You want the best for animals.
I have great
you
respect
adore
for horses.
You're not like dogs are the best animal. You're just like, I like having a dog.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yeah, I think anyone disliking an animal
is weird. Unless you're scared of it. I think if you're like, I'm scared of snakes, so I don't want to own a snake, that's fine.
It is weird. It's like, to be like, I hate them, I want them to die. It's like, I mean, like, I could never date someone that hunted. I could never date someone who hunted.
Yeah.
I can never date someone who, like, and look, I can understand that I'm a little hypocritical because I eat meat, so where do I think that comes from?
Well, let me tell you what I think about that.
Fun, I think it's
that's
for fun.
Where it comes in is that if we lived in rural West Virginia, and people hunted for food,
if they like shot deer and then ate
a different thing.
Yes.
But even like, I know a lot of people that live in a lot of different places that are like, even if they're like, oh, I eat it after, but they're still like, to me, it's strange to be like, I'm spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to essentially go on vacation. And that vacation is I'm like driving out to like shoot animals with a gun. Even if you kill them, I do think you should eat them after, because that makes the most sense. And obviously eating an animal that you've killed yourself is better for the environment than factory farming. Yeah. So it's not that, but there is something strange to me.
Someone finding enjoyment.
Yes, like, someone finding enjoyment and hurting something else is bizarre to me.
Like when you watch On Alone, a lot of people there will eat, they obviously like kill and eat their own meat.
Yeah.
It is always like an emotional thing for them. Not that I'm like, I understand if you have to do it every day, if you're like always, but this is like this is probably like eight people out of all the people that are hunting.
Yeah.
But like if you're someone who's like every day having to kill an animal, it's not that I think you need to cry over it. Like that would be terrible for your mental health. But I am like on that show, they always like thank the animal.
It's so nice.
And they're not, you can tell they're not like, that was awesome.
I love that. Yeah.
Oh, I love the rush when I kill it. It's like that really freaks me out.
Well, I always compare it to like, if you met someone who was like, I spend hundreds to thousands of dollars on gear and all of my time off work to go around my house and kill bugs. I put on a special outfit. And then when I kill the bug, I take a photo with it.
Yeah.
And then I put the bug up in my house after I've killed it. You'd be like, you're a serial killer?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? You'd be so freaked. But for some reason, when people do that with like deer, it's like not thought of as strange.
Right. And I need to look up how the inside of fish's mouths work, because I might be uneducated in this.
Oh, you've heard that it doesn't hurt them?
No, I haven't heard anything is my point. I don't know. So I might be right. It may not hurt them. But I've always thought it's interesting when people are like, well, I just catch the fish, but then I throw them back.
No, I think that's weird.
And I'm always like, to me, it makes more sense. And look, I've done that before. I actually kind of enjoy fishing. I haven't gone in like 15 years. But
do you enjoy catching the fish, or do you just enjoy the ceremony around?
I don't need to. I don't think I've caught one fish in my life.
Okay.
Been fishing many a times as a kid with other adults. So I don't really know. If I had a fishing pole right now, I'd have no idea what to do with it. But I just liked hanging out. Like I liked hanging out on a pretty lake, and like the waiting game of it was kind of fun. But I was always like, if you catch it, it feels like you should like eat it, put it out of its misery, and also it's like a sustainable meal versus like just injuring a bunch of fish and then putting that back. But I don't know. Then I was like, well, maybe it like doesn't hurt them. Maybe it like, but
it has to be
like,
mentally upsetting.
I know. That's another thing. I'm like, they are probably so scared during it. So I'm like, it feels like way better to just like pull it out, cut it in half immediately and be like, okay, it's done, and then eat it. It's like that makes
doing
more
it
sense.
to eat. Okay, doing it for enjoyment feels
a little weird,
a little perverted to me.
Fishes start to get a little, it's like, okay, I think but maybe that's me being a hypocrite, because maybe it's because that's the only thing I've done. But I am just like, I couldn't date someone who like didn't like animals. Now someone being like, I don't really want to own a cat, I'm like, no, that would not be like, wait, what did they say again?
If they only like dogs.
I don't know what I've never really met someone who's like, I only like dogs though.
I think that maybe is more like a guy thing.
I only like dogs.
You know what I mean?
Okay, if a man said I only like dogs, that feels weird to me.
It feels sexist.
It feels sexist.
Because boys are dogs and
boys are dogs
cats.
And girls are cats.
I know, which is like a fake made up thing. But for some reason, it does feel like kind of like being like, the girl thing's gay.
Yeah, even if they have a girl dog, I'm like, I would just be like, that's sexist and weird.
You know what else I don't like though?
What?
Guys that are too into their girl dog. Relax. Do you know what I mean? When they're like, yeah, this is my girl dog. She's my girl and she's a girl and she's a dog. I'm like, it doesn't really matter what gender your dog is. I don't think your dog has like the concept of gender that like you still have to be nice to like other women that you work with just because you have a girl dog doesn't really matter.
Yeah, probably doesn't have a sister.
The dog?
No, the guy. That's probably why he's acting. Yeah, the sister. The dog doesn't have a sister.
This person's hot take is an age gap doesn't have to be weird unless you make it weird. And I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
I think the thing with age gaps is like, is it weird or not? And sometimes it's weird and sometimes it's not, but just like think about it for 2 seconds. Kendahl and I are
6 years apart.
About 6 years apart. We met, we were both in our 20s. Now you're in your 20s, I'm in my 30s.
More than anything, we were both in our 20s, but we were in the same place. Like,
yes.
Jordan went to college, I did not go to college. So we were both like doing the same things. We were working the same type of jobs.
Yes.
We were in the same place in our life. We were wanting the same types of things. It would have been weird. This is what I've said this first, so I'll be short, but it's like, that was my issue when I was 18, as I was like, and we didn't start dating when I was 18, but when I was 18, it was like, date someone your age. And I was like, everyone my age still lives with their parents and is going to college.
Yeah.
They're living a completely different life. Their job, I at one point was teaching a class at UCLA, and all the students in the class were older than me. And I'd be like, what are you guys doing over the summer? And they'd be like, well, my mom's neighbor is going to let me babysit the kids over. It was just like a different world.
Yeah.
Like, we were in a different place. I am like paying rent, paying for, I'm being an adult human being. So I always dated people that were older because that was who I was around. It was like the locations I was in was with a lot of like 25 to 35-year-olds.
Yeah. And I had never ever dated someone younger than me. I had only dated people older than me. So I was very like not into it at first with you. I was like, oh no, I don't like that. But then after talking to my friends about it, they were like, what's the big deal? You're both in your 20s. You're both like, what is the big deal about that?
And I would say I never feel like we have an age gap.
No,
like, I
literally.
do not notice an age gap at all. But I also know people who are the same exact age, and there's a weird power dynamic.
Yes.
And it's like and once again, that's not illegal, by the way. Like having a kind of weird power dynamic.
Yeah.
I'm not like both of you should be in jail. It's just kind of like,
not
in relationships, there can be weird relationships where you look back and you're like, well, yeah, maybe not. Like, or maybe I was kind of giving in to everything that person. It's like there can be weird power dynamics, and that doesn't have to do with age. I think I've seen people where like we talk about this in the gay community, I feel like, because people come out really late in life.
Yeah,
and it's like
a man who's like 40 who just came out of the closet is in such a different place in life typically than a gay man who is 40 who has been out his whole life.
Right.
So it might make more sense for a gay man in his 40s who just came out to date someone who's 30 who also just came out versus dating someone who's like 40 or 50 that's been out their whole life, because they're just in such different places. Right. So I think you do see that more in the gay community. But I agree that sometimes people are making age gaps too weird, where like Kendahl and I will kind of joke about this because Demi Lovato has that really sad song that's about her and allegedly Wilmer Valderrama and how they had this huge age gap, and he serially dated really young women. He's like an absolute freak, it appears, allegedly to me. And people were sharing it as like a trend a couple years ago on TikTok. And the Demi Lovato song is like 1729. That's the age difference between her and Wilmer Valderrama when they were dating.
And then she's 29 when she wrote the song.
And she's 29 when she wrote the song.
I can't dating imagine dating a 17-year-old.
Once again, like dating a 17-year-old, that's an underage person. So that's also totally different. That's an adult and someone who's underage. So that's completely different. And people were sharing their experiences under that song. And it was so sad because, when Demi Lovato says 1729, people would share the age gaps that they had. So, and some of them are really like, 1540, like really like bad, 1965, whatever, like really wild age gaps that were probably super inappropriate. But then it kind of got co-opted by people that I think clearly did not have a good relationship, and that they felt sad about, but kind of then would start posting it. It would be like 17, 29, and they would share the ages, and it would be like 18 and 20. And I'm like, that's not...
No, and the relationship...
That's actually not it. That's
the relationship
normal.
probably could have been horrible, but it's not like that person needs to be in prison for dating someone that's under it. It's like a different thing. It's just like also a bad relationship. And I think sometimes people get like that with so many things where it's like, well, in anything can have a bad experience. Like,
yes,
anything can have a bad experience. So it's also like, in relationships where people are the exact same age, there's really bad relationship. Like it's just is you can't. But is it bad because of the age difference? And is the power dynamic because of the age difference?
Yeah.
Because also if you're dating your boss but you're the same age, there's going to be different dynamics.
There can still be a power dynamic.
It's like
there's so many things that go into it.
Like I dated a girl that was much, much older than me. And I don't know, looking back, I am like, it was quite a bit of an age gap. And I was
And you were a lot younger.
I think I was too young. I was a legal adult, but I think I was too young to be dating this person. Granted, I'm also real with myself that I look back and I'm like, that was not the cause of, like, I was not negatively affected by that age.
You're not like mad at her.
No, we didn't date. I mean, we didn't even date that long. But also, like, I was kind of being a little ass, which I was 18. So that's probably also why.
Sure.
So that, you whatever. But I just have to be, sometimes it's like, be real. Were you traumatized by it? Were you? If you were, okay, that's a conversation. But I wasn't. Yeah. And I think it is like, any problem we had in that relationship was not because of the age gap. It could have been, but it wasn't. Yeah. So I think sometimes people just it's like, look at your relationship and decide what. But I think if you're just like, this person wants to date me and I'm 4 years younger than them, that is a red flag. That's bad and the relationship's going to be bad because of it.
No, that's fine. Yeah, there's a huge difference between dating someone who's a different age than you and like a 70-year-old man dating like an 18-year-old girl and they have nothing in common. It's like, I think that's like so much of it too. It's like if someone wants to date you just because of your looks or just because of your age or whatever, and nothing else in your lives lines up, I think that's strange.
Well, I think in our society, like, we've like in general struggle with nuance now. It's just like everything is either good or bad. Really bad, like it's that we can put this person in this group or this group, and it's like a lot of things are very nuanced, and a lot of things are not just like bad or good, or things would be really easy. But I think you see that so much with like dating stuff, where people are like, anyone who does that, bad.
Yes, absolutely, and that's why you guys come to this podcast, for nuance.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching today. As always, this is a completely independently created and funded podcast. So like, comment, subscribe, join the Patreon. We have free episodes, ad-free episodes, giveaways, live chats, a book club. It's fun over there.
It's really a hoot and a holler over there. Thank you all so much for listening, and we hope that you have just a super dandy week.
Happy Monday.
Bye.